Let's be real. Love isn't supposed to hurt like this. It's not supposed to leave you anxious, confused, or questioning your worth. If you ever said, maybe I'm just too sensitive, or it's probably not that bad, this episode is for you. Welcome back to Real Talk Marriage and More. This is episode 3 of our mini-series, Real Love or Real Loneliness. Today we're talking about toxic relationships, what they look like, how they start, and why so many of us don't recognize them until we're already emotionally invested. Toxic relationships rarely start out loud or obvious. They start subtle. They start with charm, attention, and intensity. At first, it feels exciting, like passion. But over time, that intensity turns into control, inconsistency, or emotional manipulation. You're not crazy. You were drawn in before you knew what you were dealing with. Let's talk about the signs we tend to explain away. They struggle with accountability. They minimize your feelings. They make you feel guilty for expressing needs. They apologize without change. And they confuse love with control or jealousy. And one of the biggest red flags, you start feeling anxious instead of safe. You rehearse conversations and you walk on eggshells. Toxic relationships don't just hurt in the moment. They slowly change you. You stop speaking up. You doubt your intuition. You lower your standards just to keep peace. And before you know it, you're more focused on managing their emotions than honoring your own. And that's not love. That's emotional survival. People don't stay because they're weak. They stay because they're hopeful. Because they remember who the person was in the beginning. Because they believe love means endurance. But love doesn't require suffering. And pain is not proof of commitment. So how do you spot it early? Pay attention to patterns, not promises. Notice how they respond to boundaries and watch how they handle conflict. And most importantly, trust how you feel. Your body knows before your mind catches up. Choosing yourself early isn't giving up, it's protecting your peace. Love should feel supportive, safe, and mutual. It shouldn't cost you your voice, your confidence, or your peace. If love hurts more than it heals, it's time to take a closer look. In the next episode, we're talking about marriage isn't magic, it's maintenance. Because even healthy relationships require intention and effort. Thank you for listening to Real Talk Marriage and More. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs clarity, not comfort. Let's heal and grow together, and God bless.